says to me, well, I'm sorry, but it's offer only. And I did not want to let them know that I had no idea what offer only meant. And so I said, oh, well, I'm offering for them to come in and audition. They didn't really respond too quickly back.
Welcome to Casting Actors Cast, insights for actors on acting in the business of show. Casting director Jeffrey Dreisbach takes you behind the scenes and reveals secrets to a successful acting career. You can find out more on the web at castingactorscast.com. Please enjoy, like, and share Casting Actors Cast. Now, here's your host, Jeffrey Dreisbach.
Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Casting Actors Cast. Great to have you here. How you doing? How's your day going? I hope it's going great. I'm really excited to have you listening in today. Thank you so much. Today we're calling the episode Offer Only Conundrum. So you might be wondering, well, what does that mean? Well, I'm going to explain all of that, and we're going to be talking about this very interesting, unique phrase that we're hearing a lot in casting. And if you know about it, then you're in a pretty good position. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back with that Offer Only Conundrum episode. I always like to take a moment in the podcast just to thank you so very, very much for listening. It's great to have you on board. As the podcast continues to grow and I get really some interesting questions, and I really just can't thank you enough for joining. This is so much fun for me. I don't often get a chance to express myself, and when I started these podcasts, this seemed like a perfect match between my desire to get you some really important first-hand information about what's going on in the business. Because I love teaching so much, I thought this would be a great way to do it. And gosh, it really has been. I've been getting a lot of excellent responses. I'm hearing from people all over the world, and I know that sounds awfully dramatic, but it really is amazing. And of all the states in the United States, there are only 2 states that I haven't heard from. I'm not going to tell you what those 2 states are, but the rest of you that are tuning in, I get an update on my podcast about where the downloads are coming from. And it's really kind of cool to see how many people are downloading and from which state and where people are, the pockets of interests, different areas of the country. It's really kind of cool. I'm having a cool time doing this. So please let me know. You can simply go to castingactorscast.com. All one word, castingactorscast.com. And you can leave me a message. There's a place you can even leave a voice message, which is kind of cool. You hear my voice. Why can't I hear your voice? Damn it. So please consider leaving me a voice message at castingactorscast.com. Thanks so much. Today's episode, the Offer Only Conundrum. I'm going to talk a little bit about what that actually means. Then I'm going to, after I define it, I think it's a good idea to go over some actual real-life scenarios where this particular phrase is being invoked, and let you decide where you are in your career, or maybe you just want to think about this for a while. So I'm going to kind of drop the idea and then have you let me know where you are with this offer only conundrum. So I was having dinner last night. Pat and I hosted a small dinner party at our house last night, and wonderful actress and a former casting assistant of Pat's and stage manager, and Pat and I were having this dinner, and we started talking about actors, which is like the fun thing to do, talking about careers and talking about people that we've worked with and sharing and swapping stories. And that's always kind of fun to do. And it just kind of struck me after hearing about a particular actress, very well known, an Oscar nominee, who achieved the status of what's called offer only. That simply means the actor has a body of work or has accumulated enough work for the person who might be offering her a job to know what they are capable of. And therefore, their representatives, their agents, and their managers decide that the only way this actor is going to think about whether to take a project on or not is by having an offer on the table. In other words, I want the offer, and then I'll let you know if this is something I want to do. And we're going to break that apart in a minute. But now let's go back to this story about this particular actress who was an offer-only actress that the agent said, it's an offer only. And so Pat was very smart and said, well, we would then love if the actress wouldn't mind coming in and meeting with the director and the producer, just so that we can see if we are all on the same page with this particular project. And the agent thought, well, let me see if that's a good idea or not. It came back that the actress would certainly be interested in a meeting, but the way it's going to work is that it's an offer pending a meeting. So that was kind of another phrase. So that's a little bit of the compromise, is that you have to offer the actor the job. Then it's going to rest pending the meeting that they have. So that was all arranged. And the actress came in and met with the director and the producer. The actress, during the course of chatting with the director, it was clear that the director was not that familiar with the actor's work. And the actress, who loved the idea of the part and had read the script, kind of sensed that the director really didn't kind of know her body of work and what she was capable of. So that really smart actress decided that she was going to chat with the director, and before she left, she said, well, now let me just share something with you. This is how I think I would like to play this part. It turned out to be an audition. And so even though the actress had the offer on the table, she liked the director. She liked the way the meeting was going. And she also sensed that the director wasn't quite sure who she was and what she was capable of. And therefore, at that moment, the actor decided, I'm going to show you what I'm capable of. And of course, she booked the job. Offer only. Offer only really does refer to an actor who has achieved some level of success or has enough work under their belt that if a producer or a director wants to work with them, you have to simply say, I am confident enough that you can do the job. I would like to just make you an offer. And so that's what offer only is all about. Here's the conundrum. There are several different avenues by which offer only is used by agents, and it can be kind of a sticky wicket in certain regards. Number one, offer only can be given by a manager or an agent to their talent when talking to a casting director. Maybe that actor hasn't really earned the work, but there's a little bit of a, how do I say this? There's a little cachet by saying, oh, that actor is offer only. So unless you're going to put an offer on the table, they won't even consider it. Interesting, isn't it? And I'm not saying that happens a lot, but there are those occasions where trying to get that actor into a new level, going from the B team to the A team, you know what I'm talking about? That they have some success, but the agents decided that by making it an offer only, it kind of elevates the cachet of that talent. I'm not sure if that's really useful, but I can understand that it happens. Now, sometimes that offer-only moniker can be something the actor insists on. And why would that be? Well, from my perspective, there are two different ways of looking at it. There is one avenue of understanding that says actors, very, very talented actors, sometimes hate auditioning. They just don't like the process. They feel like they are put on a meat slab to be observed, kind of thing. That sometimes can feel that way, unfortunately. There are some casting people who don't have the respect or regard for actors and just sort of make it a means to an end to have an audition. So some actors are just not good auditioners. That's really the case. So by making it an offer only, it alleviates that issue. The problem becomes if you're not familiar with that actor's body of work. You say, well, I can't just offer somebody just because they've had a television series, in which case that's when the meeting is the compromise. The other way to look at it is to simply say, I know I'm capable of it. I've done these kinds of roles before, so what you're seeking is not unusual or different, and so you've seen me play this kind of character before, and if you want me to do a similar kind of role, then you know what I'm capable of. I don't think I need to come in and read for you, and I don't want to audition for you. So put an offer on the table, and then I'll consider it. Now, some agents and managers are also very cognizant. Ooh, there's a good word, cognizant. Some agents and managers are very much aware that there are a lot of offers coming in for some particular actors. Offers are happening all the time. And because of that embarrassment of riches, that the actor is having so many offers and so many opportunities come their way, that they can simply say offer only, and then they can choose which is either the most lucrative, the most interesting, how you respond to the material if you're the actor, and you are in that position where you can pick and choose what you believe is going to be best for you and your career. Now, here's another part of the conundrum, and that is, what if, and we'll just kind of speculate for a second. What if you're a young film producer and your film depends on having some kind of named talent in the picture, and it's a role or a part that the actor hasn't been that accomplished in, or you haven't seen? For example, let's say it's a comedy and you haven't seen this actor do comedies before. So you get from the agent or manager that this is an offer only, but yet you haven't seen that actor do comedy before. So there's a lot of back and forth oftentimes between the agent and the casting director to try and convince the casting director that this person is funny. The casting director can say, well, show me something where this actor was funny and I can bring it to my producer. And sometimes there is something out there that we haven't seen or know of, something maybe earlier in that actor's career. But then there's sometimes where the agent says, well, they haven't done that, but they're really, really funny. They can really do this job. So that's when the card is played, where it becomes, well, let's have a meeting. Now, the option of meeting is a really, really smart move on both the casting director, if I do say so myself, but it's also a really smart move for the actor. The agent sometimes is leery of that because you can still say, well, I met with that actor and I don't want to work with him. And that has happened. But more likely than not, the most beneficial part of having an offer pending a meeting is that you can have the talent meet with the producer and or director, and they can chat about the project. It's an opportunity for the director to share the vision of that particular project, but it's also an opportunity for the actor to see if they are on the same communication wavelength with each other. The actor is not going to simply show up at the first read or show up at the first day of shooting and be totally surprised because the director has failed to communicate exactly what they're looking for in the picture. That's why the meeting can be really, really helpful, and that's why offer pending a meeting. Offer only can be a difficult and challenging request, because as I alluded to earlier, sometimes agents are sort of putting the cart before the horse, and their talent is something they want to protect, or the talent is just so terrified of auditioning, or, you can fill in the blank. There are a lot of different reasons, I'm sure, that actors don't really want to audition. So when we're talking about film, sometimes and this is absolutely true, that the young director of a feature film or an independent film will really have to trust the judgment of the casting director at that point and say, let's just do an offer pending a meeting. Or we have said the actor is just terrified of auditioning. How about if we set up a meeting first, and then if the meeting goes well, they'll either agree or not agree to an audition. So those are all likely scenarios that have happened that have rendered really excellent results. And conversely, have rendered really disappointing situations because that actor is out of a job or that actor misses out on an opportunity. But I guess if there are a lot of opportunities coming that actor's way, then that's fine. On the other hand, you've got a young producer who believes that this talent would be perfect for the part, but needs to be convinced because they don't know the body of work. Hence, the offer-only conundrum can play a part in the strategy during negotiations. Here's an additional insight that I'd like to share that maybe you haven't thought of. But the relationship between the agent manager and the casting director is really one of those things that can make a substantial difference in whether or not that actor moves ahead in the project. And this is true that there are many, many agents that we enjoy working with and we have a good relationship with. Sometimes our relationships with the agents as casting directors is really a good one, that it's very professional or it's almost sometimes personal, where you like each other so much that you actually can spend some personal out of the office time with certain agents and managers. The personality of the agent and the personality of the casting director can really make a difference in the level of communication that takes place in regard to the talent that is being represented and the project that is being pitched. Think about that relationship. I know that we have a podcast about agents and managers, and you can please check out the archives of all of the past episodes because I think you'll find that pretty valuable as well. I think actors don't think sometimes in terms of how the agent relates to a particular casting director. And in fact, I think that's a really valuable question sometimes for an actor to ask an agent, especially in a new relationship. But equally, I think it's incumbent upon an agent or a manager to find out if the talent has a relationship or has auditioned for or worked with a particular casting director. Have you been cast in something by McCorkle Casting in New York? If the answer is yes, then that agent says, well, gosh, you know what? I have a good relationship with Pat. That means that I can get that actor into a screen test or I can get that actor into an audition. That's why relationships between agents and casting people really can make a difference in that actor's career. So finally, as we look at this, where are you in your career? Are you at a position in your career where an offer only would be a dream? Something that you just wish would be part of where you are? On the other hand, I wouldn't be in a rush. I wouldn't be in a rush to be at that status where you only are going to be entertaining offers. And here's why. I think there is great value in working on your ability to walk into an audition and show me how you're going to play the part. I think that that is a skill set. I think that there are spontaneous kinds of feedback. Then you get a call back and then you get a booking. I think that that process is really great. And I think that there's a reason why it's oftentimes the way it happens early on in an actor's career. If you've got a body of work under your belt, maybe you've done a couple of TV series and maybe you've gotten a lot of theater work and maybe you've been nominated for awards, and then maybe you want to be that actor who is an offer only. I would just make sure you analyze all of the elements that we've just talked about. Is there enough work for you to be a known commodity? And if that's the case, then congratulations, that's great. We'll look forward to making offers to you. On the other hand, don't think that having an offer-only status is going to elevate you in an artificial way. It is an earned thing. It's a thing that happens and evolves over the length of a career. So I hope that that's been helpful to you. This is the Offer-Only Conundrum Show. Ooh, I can't make you any offers, but I can say that I will offer to invite you to listen to our next podcast coming up on Casting Actors Cast. How is that? Did I do that okay? I don't know. Whatever. So I'm so glad you listened. Thank you so very, very much. My name is Jeffrey Dreisbach, and you've been listening to Casting Actors Cast.
You've been listening to Casting Actors Cast with host Jeffrey Dreisbach. Find out more at castingactorscast.com and let us know if you would like us to cover topics you're interested in. Thanks for listening. I'm Matthew DeSarno.